Put my medal on. Whose blood to spill, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. Two armies are coming at me. Their flags and weapons look the same. One tells the truth, the other's lying. And they're both calling my name. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Ooh, no one ever starts that way. But this is how villains are made. Time to put my medal on. Whose neck to cut, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. There lies my sanity. There goes my mind, I could not say. I don't trust what I see right in front of me. I don't know who to betray. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. So easily we're persuaded. When the lines are blurred and faded. No one ever starts that way. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made.
Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio is set to be arraigned following his arrest in Washington Monday night. Tarrio is suspected of setting fire to a Black Lives Matter banner stolen.
I'm not going to cry about a group of people that don't give a crap about their constituents.
They call themselves Western chauvinists. They're certainly male-dominating.
And this right here shows you the power
where we, the right wing, unite.
Leader of the Proud Boys makes a stunning revelation.
I am a Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world.
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
Breathe fire like a dragon killing demons. I'ma go hard, yeah, we gotta seize the day. Hellfire raining down upon my people. If you're gonna bring the hate, we can bury it today. We all been lost, we all been cold. Everyone rise to our brethren code. We got your back, we all been low. Let's all rise to the brethren.
But in no other nation do people enjoy greater freedom, opportunity, and prosperity than here in the United States of America. USA! 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 USA!
Do you condemn those people? Can you say that right now?
Okay, I can't say that because I think
Why not?
condemn is a very strong word, and I think it's a little bit too strong. Because I'm the head of the organization and I know exactly what we planned and what we didn't plan, and we did not coordinate to assault the Capitol.
Enrique Tarrio is the Proud Boys' current leader. And over the past 4 years, he's seen the group grow from a few guys in a bar to thousands of members across the United States.
Right now, the most important thing that we have going for us is that we all share the same belief. The belief that we should put America first. America first! America first! Who's safe? Who's safe? We're all Proud Boys! We're all Proud Boys! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
It switches. So we always
There we
start
go.
the show with some fuck ups. So I gotta always say what the fuck ups are. So our Rumble went off for some reason because we fucked that up. So we'll replay this episode later on. I also fucked up on Kim's tag, so go ahead and follow her at Coulter Culture. I'll put that in the bottom in the comments. Thank you for watching. This is NBLE Live episode 4. I might have fucked that up too, because I think there already was a 4. So
This is the better 4.
this is the better 4. So to everybody saying good day and good afternoon, good day and good afternoon, we have Jose in the comments. Welcome, Jose. Okay, so today we have a very special guest, and the reason why we're having this guest is because Kim's had this guest on before. So Kim, who are we bringing on today? And give me a little bit of background on the last time that you interviewed.
So the last time we talked with Rich right after the incident in Florida, I believe was the last time we talked publicly, but there was a Muslim prayer meeting for some reason happening in the top of a parking structure, and these are very well-known street preachers, and they overheard this happening, and they thought, hey, we'll show up and we'll start testifying, and we'll learn a little bit more about that later on and what that culminated in. But Rich is a very good guy. I've known him for a very long time. He's very well known for getting drag time story hours shut down across the nation, and God bless him for that. Again, totally vouch for this one.
So you said a word that kind of, and I'm playing the part right now because I know what street preachers are, but every time somebody says street preachers, I remember the street preachers from the streets of Portland, right?
Right.
They were amazing on a bullhorn. They were like those dunk tank fucking clowns. They were quick. They were witty. They were always, and they were really good friends of ours when we went around everywhere, not just in Portland, but everywhere we went.
Well, specifically the Warriors for Christ. I know that they've always, for the most part, been very vocal about support for what we do.
And warrior's a good way to put it,
Yeah.
because they don't just preach, and they're not like, your typical, preachers online that just have a show. They like go out on the street, and they do make conversions, whether you like it or not, whether some people like their tactic or not. They do make conversions,
And they get results. They get these
Yes.
demonic situations shut down, and that's incredible.
and look, and then the second thing that you said is something that's important, is these drag queen story hours, which there's a lot less of them now, because of groups like Rich and individuals like Rich, and because of groups like the Proud Boys. During our trial, right? As a matter of fact, there was the foreman on our jury for our January 6th trial. He was a person, and he hid this. He was a person that puts together and organizes drag queen story hours. And while we were going to trial, the Proud Boys were protesting events that he put together, right? So
Yeah, that's a real fair jury.
Thankfully for people like Rich, and I know that this is a long intro for Rich, but I wanted to tell you guys a little bit of my experience with street preachers and what the Proud Boys have done against these drag queen story hours. Without further ado, I'm going to bring Rich in. Rich, welcome to the MBLE podcast. It's awesome to have you. We've spoken on the phone, so I appreciate everything that you do, but good to have you.
Good to be here. And I just want to say, Kim said, we're very vocal about supporting what you guys do. And I want to just say, if it weren't for the Proud Boys and whatnot, Antifa would have taken me out in Bloomington, Minnesota when we shut down their drag event where they were going to have a satanic gay incest pornographer dressed in drag for kids. And it was the Proud Boys that stood there and make sure Antifa didn't get near me. So
good. And thankful for you guys for coming out too. I'm sure me and you will bump into each other at some point soon.
I would hope so at some point.
So I'm going to fuck this up. I already know because I keep looking at it. I just want to start with a question. Who is Rich Penkoski? And just give me a little bit of background, childhood, and what inspired you to do what you do.
Well, I was born and raised in northern New Jersey, and I left there, moved to Tennessee because I have 7 children, and I didn't want them being brought up in that liberal cesspool.
God damn, 7.
I got 7 kids and 2 grandchildren. Yeah.
You blow on the pussy and it gets pregnant.
Well, hey, the Bible says be fruitful, multiply. So you got to have at least 3, right? Because 2 is a replacement, 3 is a multiplying.
Go ahead.
But
Go ahead, sorry.
So we moved to Tennessee, and how we started was just a Facebook page, believe it or not. And because we kept seeing this gay marriage thing, so we actually got started by creating a Facebook page called I Support Traditional Marriage. Well, then we started debating atheists and started kind of tackling other issues. So somebody suggested that we change the name. So we were looking around, and my brother suggested Warriors for Christ because the word warrior means somebody who's engaged in battle. So I said, oh, yeah, that's right. So that Warriors for Christ was born. We quickly got up to over 200,000 followers on Facebook because we were, again, we were tackling all these issues. And then Facebook started censoring me. American Family Association got involved. I mean, they were coming to my house, because I was an idiot and put my address on Facebook at the time, sending feces to my house, threatening to rape my daughters, the LGBT, the left. And we kind of it's actually because of them, I became a public figure, if you will, because of their attacks on me. Well, Facebook started censoring me, got AFA involved. We got Neil Potts, who's the policy director at the time, on the phone, got my Facebook page put back up, then censored again, and started a new one, got 80,000, but that's boring. But I was really popular on social media. And then all of a sudden I heard about Drag Queen Story Hour, and I said, what the hell is that? And a brother in Lafayette, Louisiana told me about it, and I said, what? A bunch of gay dudes dressing up in women's underwear, twerking for kids? And I couldn't not do something. I had to. The compulsion to go beyond sitting in a chair doing a podcast was so great that I couldn't ignore it if I wanted to. So my first time out in the streets was down in Lafayette, Louisiana, and we had shut down that Drag Queen Story Hour. Then we went to Mobile, Alabama, shut that one down. I started getting a reputation for shutting these things down. So churches across the country started asking me to come out there. And that's how it started.
So let's backtrack a second, though. Were you raised in a Christian?
Yeah. No, I was not.
You weren't raised in a Christian household?
No, I was not.
Okay. And then what made you convert to, what made you accept Jesus Christ into your life?
When I got out of the military, I was suicidal. I turned to drugs and whatnot, and I went to a church because I had never been to church before. Not like a church that,
After you got out of the military?
After I got out of the military, right.
Okay.
And I just, everything that you heard about Christ in this country, I just in that moment, I knew it was real, accepted Jesus, went to Bible college after that, and the rest is history.
Okay. And then when did you figure out that you had to come out? And actually, it's funny because this is the first time in War Boys Studios history that we have a Facebook destination. And we're going to be really careful in not saying my name on this stream.
Okay.
Because they will shut it down.
Well, I don't
Immediately.
Yeah,
I don't care.
So I'm just watching it just in case it goes red. So, but when did you figure out that you had to come out of the digital space, out of the pixel space, and go live in IRL and start advocating and preaching the word of Christ?
It was the drag queen story stuff. When they started going around, I said, there's no way, because they were targeting children. And my thing is that, they weren't targeting 3, 4, 5-year-olds inadvertently. That's the age when children start figuring out the difference between boy and girl. So they targeted that age to try to disrupt that, as they grow up. And I couldn't stand there and do nothing. I had to go out there and expose it. We had people undercover telling us what stories they were reading. We had video, and we've been live streaming ever since, posting all these videos. I got to know a lot of people like Dr. Michael Brown, Dr. Robert Gagnon, who are Bible scholars. And the exposition of all this all over the country, the same thing, the sexualization of children, how they were letting children rub on them. And again, we shut down over 70 of them across this country in the last 10 years. And like you said,
When did you start?
2018, I believe it was, maybe 19.
Okay.
Really when it just started.
Yeah, and just from personal experience, like that is when it started. Okay. Because we're like, wait, what do you mean this is going on? And how is this happening? And like liberals like saying, like moderate liberals, I'm going to use air quotes. Moderate liberals were saying, oh, it's not a big thing. I don't support it, but let people do what they do. And it's not something that's prominent. It's prominent. It's in every fucking city.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, it was.
It was. That's true.
Yeah, it was. But because of people like you, people that also talk about this and raise awareness for it, like we know that it's a thing. And maybe it was a thing before 2018 and we weren't in tune with it because the media wasn't covering it. But okay, and then let's talk about this what people consider street preachers. So you saw that I made like a reference to the street preachers in Portland.
Yep.
Are you connected to those guys, or is there different groups that do this?
There's different groups, but our goal is the same. And a lot of us preach kind of the same way, right? We have the bullhorns. I've got a half-mile hailer. And, we're out there telling you how much God loves you. As a matter of fact, I preach that God hates some people because that's what the Bible says.
Keep it going. I'm going to bring my bullhorn.
Yeah. So we preach not only the love of God, we preach the hatred of God. And a lot of people don't understand that there are people that God hates. Psalm 5:5 says God hates the work of iniquity. Psalm 11:5 says God's very soul hates the person who loves violence. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 to 19 lists an entire group of people that God hates. So we're not out there telling people God loves them, especially since the world doesn't know how to define love as it is, right? They define that, there you go, that's the thunder power. They define love as, see, here's mine, as feelings and whatnot. So we're out there telling people that's not true. Because we believe Jesus first, America second, because America cannot be first or great without Christ. And that's just how we believe it, and that's what we do. So we're out there preaching hard. We preach hard against sin because you know what? As American Family Association says, we deal with the worst of the worst of the worst. I mean, how much worse can it be than a bunch of animals dressing up in women's underwear trying to tell children about gay sex? It doesn't get any worse than that, in my opinion.
No, it's horrific.
Okay, let me get this the fuck out of here. It's way too big for the fucking desk.
You need a half-mile hailer now.
Yeah. So I bought it because I remember Googling, because I have a collection of bullhorns.
That's what we use. That's what most of us use, is that bullhorn.
Yeah. What is it? Thunder? I have
Thunder Power 1200. Thunder Power 1200.
Yeah. So I'm like Googling. I'm like, what's the loudest fucking bullhorn I can get on the market, right? And that was it. And there's other things that you can build that make it louder, but for the most part, that's why I got it. And Alex sent us when we went to Portland. Actually, one of the street preachers in Portland have one. He sent us a whole pallet full of just like, they were good bullhorns, but like a whole pallet full of them.
Yeah.
I have one. I gave one to Kyle Rittenhouse. Bullhorns are bullhorns. They're not just like sound amplifiers. They're like message amplifiers, and like they have, to me, they have meaning because it means that you're out on the street and you're projecting your voice and you're preaching, either in your case, preaching the word of Christ or preaching change in America. So I think the bullhorn is a very powerful symbol of the new way that we put things together. And so let's get back into your story.
What does Isaiah 58:1 say? Isaiah 58:1 says, "Lift up your voice like a trumpet, don't hold back." And a lot of people hear the word trumpet and they think of it the instrument, but that's not how Jews saw trumpet. Trumpets were instruments of war. They were used for battle cry, and that's what the bullhorn is. That's our trumpet.
Yeah, no, and so did you, when you went to this first event in 2018? Did you have a bullhorn?
I didn't actually, because I had just started. I didn't know any street preachers yet. And what had happened was we were trying to shut it down, right? So we had actually requested a room in the library. And at first they turned us away.
Was this a public library?
Yeah. So we sued them because they let the drag queens have a room, but not us. So we sued them in federal court and they had to go ahead and give us the room. So my first time was sitting down with all these homos and debating them. And they exposed themselves for who they were. And, the local news, and I was surprised, did a story on me, and they actually showed the screenshots of the death threats that I was getting from them. So a lot of people watched that live stream, and they were like, how did you not throw a chair at these people? Because of how vitriolic they were, just how nasty they were. And, of course, I've developed over the years to become more of a vocal with the bullhorns and working with law enforcement, things like that. But that was my first time, was sitting down and going, okay, God, what do I do in this situation? I got this room, and it was really live streaming, debating with them back and forth and just humiliating them publicly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, so then you started, did you know about the street preachers before?
No,
you were just like, hey, I need to come out here. I need to do this.
I met them in Mobile, Alabama the second time because a church called Luke 14 Fellowship said, hey, we heard what you did in Lafayette. Can you come down and help us? I said, yeah. So I went down there, and then I saw these guys come out of the library, and they had all the, the jackets and all that. I'm like, I want all of that. So I met them. That's when I got introduced to the street preaching community, and I got all my gear, bought the jackets, the shirts, the bullhorns, everything, and just started going out with these guys all over the country.
I find it interesting because I always talk about, Kim, you were around in 2006. You were a Trump supporter in 2016, and you saw this.
I was just converting, honestly. That was the beginning of my conversion, was meeting a bunch of you supposed Nazis and learning that was not really the case at all. And I initially thought I'd be the olive branch, and then I realized, no, you can't be an olive branch with, excuse me, but retards and assholes. So here we are.
Why'd you say, excuse me? The word retard simply means stupid and foolish.
Yeah. So it actually furthers my point here. In 2016, it wasn't about politics. Like we all had our own lane, although I was in the political lane.
Yeah, very much.
But it was so magical to me because like these groups, right, that weren't political and didn't have a nexus, right, kind of crossed over, kind of like in 2020 when like your regular everyday moms got hit with COVID and they got pissed off, and they weren't political before, but they were seeing their kids getting abused in school with like the jab and all the other bullshit. And it became political, right? So like with you probably weren't political, but you had a lane and you came in. So Rich, what it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, to you it wasn't a political thing. It was a moral issue that you saw. Is there a point after you started that you saw some type of alignment with like some type of political movement.
Yeah.
After the fact, and explain that to me.
So, and just so you know, I am probably the only street preacher that testified in a House committee twice, once against the drag queen stuff and once against Facebook censorship in Tennessee. And that started with a pastor friend of mine named Dale Walker. He actually would take me down to the Capitol building in Nashville and introduce me to state reps, senators, even the governor. And a couple things that happened, and it really turned me more into politics than anything else, in that, a school gave my 7-year-old a flyer promoting condoms, and not good at all. So that
made like the shades I have.
That made the news everywhere about a school giving my son. And I went to the school board meeting and blasted them. And then Governor Lee himself got involved and told Penny Schwinn, who was the Secretary of Education at the time, put a directive out there that no schools were allowed to teach 7-year-olds about condoms and birth control. That was just inappropriate. So that was my segue into politics. And then I got asked to, they considered me an expert on the drag queen stuff. So they asked me to testify at a House hearing, which I did. And then, of course, Facebook censorship.
A United States House hearing.
No, Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee, yeah. And then, against Facebook. And Facebook actually sent a lobbyist to counter what I was saying. But at the Senate, this is funny. At the House hearing, they asked them, Facebook, do you have anything you want to say? And after I was done, they went, no. And they go, I didn't think so. So I started working. And then we realized that state capitol buildings were public property. And as long as we don't disrupt business, guess what we can do? We can preach inside the building. So we did. Against Planned Parenthood. We stood in the cafeteria in the Tennessee State Capitol during lunch and on Planned Parenthood Day, and we sat there and preached inside the Capitol building.
So you said a word, these protests, and they're in a way disruptive, right? Because that's the point of kind of protesting these things. Like,
well, be careful using the word disruptive.
Well, that's why I'm not using the negative connotation of the word. You're kind of like you're kind of because if you're, I'm guessing in some cases you're a counter protester, right? Like if you're going to drag queen story hour, you're a protester, right? But if
they call us that, we say no, we're not protesters, because protesters have very specific rules legislatively. Preachers do not, because it's freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So we don't call ourselves protesters. We call ourselves preachers.
Okay. But there's a line that, like, with J6ers, that they're like, oh, there's a line that you cross between, somebody that's advocating for something, in your case, preacher, or protesting something. And then there's this thing that makes it illegal. And I'm not going to say Democrats and Republicans. I'm going to say the left and the right vary widely on what that is. And it usually, for the right, it means if you put your hands on somebody.
Right.
So is it your position that you go in there and you just start pushing people or punching people?
No. As a matter of fact, the only time we have ever used violence is in self-defense, and we have no other option. And it was against Antifa in Tennessee, by the way, which you notice they're not there anymore. And that's because they were throwing blankets on us because they knew we all had cameras and stabbing into the blankets. Okay. Well, they learned real quick, we're not those guys. You try doing that, we're going to hit back. And I will hit and I will defend myself. And so will most of the people that are with us. We're not pacifist Christians.
This is starting to sound familiar, right, Kim? Right? It's starting to sound familiar here.
Yeah.
And has there been any physical altercations at these events that you start?
No, never. Okay. Never once. And all the time I've been doing this, and of course, the left always says we're violent, we're this. Okay. But yet, we live stream everything. Yeah. How come they can't find one video of that ever?
So I'll ask the same in the opposite direction. Has anybody, when you go to these things, has anybody ever been, and you kind of answered it, but has anybody been violent towards you?
Oh, every time. You kidding me? I've had my vehicles damaged. I had a Lincoln Navigator, and they popped the air suspension in there. They ripped out the taillights. We had a group in Oklahoma when we shut down their whole thing and all that. They were looking for me, but they thought I was in Oklahoma City, and the police had to have extra protection because they were publicly posting how they were going to kill me. I've had SWAT teams protecting me because the left, of course, they have no problem admitting what they want to do to us. And they were posting pictures of weapons they wanted to use. So it happens all the time. All the time.
So you're not going to let somebody like assault you.
No.
Right? Like, yeah. So, I think that's expected across the board. If nobody touches you, you're just there preaching, correct?
Correct. That's it. And
So-
we know how to do it too optically. So for instance, in Bloomington, Minnesota, we stood across the street, right, of their Pride event. And a lot of people are like, why don't you go across the street right in their faces? And I said, I don't need to. They're going to come here, which they did. But the police at first didn't like me in Bloomington, obviously. But by the second year, the deputy chief came up and gave me his personal cell phone number and said, I realize that you're not the problem. And why? Because optically, we let them come to us and get in our faces. And it shows we're just there preaching, we're there exercising our First Amendment rights. They're the ones that come up to us. They're the ones who cause the problem. And we want police and everybody to see that. And it works out perfect.
So, okay. So you haven't, besides the obvious, and we're going to get to that part just in a couple minutes. Besides the obvious, obvious to us, not the viewers yet.
Right.
But has law enforcement ever like actually not only just given you shit, have they ever stopped you from constitutionally protected speech?
Yeah, but it never works out for them. So for instance, not just police, but schools, right? My daughter wore a t-shirt to school that said homosexual, and this is how I met Kim, said homosexuality is a sin. They kicked her out because my daughter said, I'm not taking it off. I'm not changing it. And we sued them in federal court and we won, by the way. And then, I was preaching the Pride event in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and the dykes, lesbians, whatever, they got they used the police, right? Because there was a lesbian police officer. They used the police to make a false report against me and get a restraining order against me. We had to take that all the way to Oklahoma Supreme Court, and we won that one, and it set precedent in Oklahoma, by the way. Okay. So we've had lesbian police officers. In Dallas, I had a homo take a knife and try to stab me, and the cops, because I don't know if you know this or not, which I'm assuming you do, but
why is it, I'm sorry to cut you off. Why is it when Rich says homo, it feels just as strong as when I say fag? Right? If I say homo, it's not as powerful. When Rich says it, I feel
there's like an air of curse to it.
There's like an insult there.
Like you didn't even need to say faggot.
Well, yeah, I have no problem with the word faggot either, but it's not an insult; it's an insight.
Yeah,
right.
And they don't like it. They don't like being called homo. We call females sometimes homoettes, whatever, whatever's going to get their attention, right?
I like that.
But the homo, it literally came up. It was a tranny. And tried to stab me. And the cops, because of course, at Pride events, they send the pro-gay cops, and they did nothing. So they stood by when this happened. They stood by as kids were drinking. So we had to take matters in our own hands. I found out who the tranny was and started spamming his CashApp.
Yeah.
Just saying. But the
cops. Wasn't there another instance where there was cops nearby and there was one of the, like the Antifa drag queen types, I think it was a drag queen event, was like flashing a child or like
that was recently. That was in Claremore, Oklahoma. You're right. That's right. And
I remember literally
it was disgusting. It was a big fat chick, of course, liberal. But we were calling her Shamu. She was lifting up her shirt, shaking her disgusting boobs in front of kids. We sent that to the state legislator, right? Representative
Was
Kevin
it his boobs?
No, it was a her.
Okay.
I don't know if she identified as they, them. I don't really care. But it was a female. It was a disgusting female. I'm talking a very large female that if you saw it, you'd probably puke. But, she did in front of children. There were children right there. We have it all in video. They sent it to the attorney general in Oklahoma, and he refused to do anything about it. He did nothing. He said that local people should say disorderly conduct when it was nudity in front of children, which is illegal.
So, okay,
and I'm not talking bra. I'm talking full on nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Nice tits, dude.
No, they were not nice. They were disgusting. It's disgusting.
So let's get into this because last time we talked, before you say what the result is, can you explain to me? You came to Tampa, correct? It's in Tampa, right?
Yep. University of South Florida.
You came to Tampa, and explain to everybody what happened at that event, and just pause it with what happened because of that.
It wasn't even an event. It was a group of Muslims from the Muslim Student Association who wanted to go in a public, and this is important, a public parking garage. It was not private. It's not a private school. It's a public school. And in Florida, every single state campus has to allow free speech outdoors. They cannot stop you. It's for everybody. So they were doing this, and we went to preach to them and tell them about Muhammad being a pedophile and a power bottom and all that stuff. And, they didn't like it. So, of course, the Muslims in their, crybaby thing, they saw an opportunity here to make us look like the bad guys for simply preaching, right? And again, you may not like preaching, but I really don't care what people like or don't like. I'm there with a message. I do what God tells me to do, not what they, thems, or anybody else tells me. It was 10 minutes. That's it. And the reason we chose to do it at that time is because when they're in their prayer, they can't move, so they can't attack us. So it's a perfect opportunity to preach to them.
Do you care what other conservatives think of your preaching?
Nope.
Okay. Is there conservatives that are against what you do?
Of course. There's a lot of Christians that are against what I do. They think it's unloving, it's hateful, but again, I asked them to define those words and they can't, so.
Okay.
There's also, and the right wing is largely succumbed to this as well. There's this idea that being a Christian means that you believe that God loves everyone and Jesus was a pacifist. Yeah. And it's like, if you actually read the Bible, and I'm still a relatively baby convert, but if you even delve into the Bible at all, you realize very quickly that both of these things are false, and they're used to weaponize against Christians when they speak out in ways that they want to in ways that others want to condemn.
Look, God ordered the killing of people. In Revelation, Jesus is coming back and he's going to kill everybody. And it says there's going to be so much blood, it's going to be up to a horse's bridle, and the vultures are going to feast for years. Not very pacifist, is it?
No. So, and that's the beauty about the Bible is like people have their interpretations, but they don't like talking about those interpretations. They don't want to. They don't want to.
It's not even an interpretation.
They think it's like they think it's like some rainbow.
Yeah.
Well, they treat the Bible like it's an a la carte menu. I'll take a little bit from here. I'll take a little bit from here. I'll leave this behind. And that's just not how it works.
And they think that Jesus walked around singing peace and love. But here's the thing. And I challenge everybody watching this. See if you can find one verse in the Bible where Jesus ever told anybody, I love you. There's not a single verse in the Bible where Jesus ever said, I love you to anybody.
Rich, so back on topic here with the actual event in Tampa. So you went and you were preaching.
Mm-hmm.
Did you touch anybody?
Nope.
Did you block them from leaving?
Nope.
Kim, am I missing something here that's illegal?
I mean, there's you would say like maybe trying to instigate, but even that's not technically. But these guys.
Well, instigation is just instigation is just a word, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Protesting is instigating. Holding a sign is instigating, right?
Well, I mean, violent instigation is what they're alleging. So
no, they're not alleging that because that would be.
Well, they're not in the criminal suit, but they said that you guys were stomping around their heads and. Yeah. No.
Did you stomp any heads?
No, and you see that's the beauty of live streaming and having body cams. Whenever they lie, and it amazes me that these people can lie when everything is on video and it's public. So, we know what we're doing, right? I was about 4 feet away from them when we were doing this, right? And I did. I started off and I said Muhammad is the biggest pervert that ever walked the earth, that he was a power bottom pedophile. And he was, right? He got ridden all night by a bunch of black dudes, the Al-Zut people. He was hurting the next day. So he's a power bottom. That's what it is. And they didn't like it, right? Their beloved pedophile prophet. They got insulted by that. And then, of course, listen, I was being nice. I was trying to offer food to them, right? That's what we do, right? We want to feed people like Jesus fed the 5,000 with the fish. So I brought bacon. I wanted to feed them, being the nice guy.
So,
and they
all
cried.
right.
They cried. And he literally cried on live TV about eating bacon in front of him.
Yeah, they did.
So Kim, after that event, Kim interviewed you.
Yes.
Right. And then she put us in contact.
Yes.
And I was going to interview you, but I have a lot of time constraints this month. I've had a lot of shit happen this month and last month, plus the holidays. And I said that I was
this silly little active warrant.
Well, not even that, but we also didn't have charges filed against us yet.
Yeah.
The police said they did, but the state attorney hadn't filed anything yet.
Yeah,
So,
they made the claim that there was charges before charges ever existed.
Right.
And that was one of the main stories that was being spread was like, oh, well, this instigation resulted in
crime.
charges.
And a hate crime
like,
and felony charges, which, by the way, still did not happen. There's no hate crime enhancement that was put on those charges that we now have. So
wait a second. So in between this time that you said that you were going to get charged, right? Because you read the room, not because of anything. You just read the room.
Correct.
You were charged with preaching, and you were charged with preaching to the wrong group.
Right. Disorderly conduct.
Yes.
And what is it? Disrupting a religious assembly. Now, remember, these were just 12 Muslims praying on public property.
So you didn't go into a what is it that they call their
a mosque?
You didn't go into a mosque and start a scene.
Of course not.
Okay. So they were praying in a public
illegal.
parking lot. Yeah. They were praying in a public parking lot, and you decided to preach your word. So really, they were practicing their freedom of religion. So
Correct. Correct.
And is this a federal charge? Did the federal government charge you with crimes?
Nope. It was
Who
supposed
charged you?
The state attorney in Tampa.
The state attorney in Tampa.
Right. Susie Lopez is her name.
Okay. And this state attorney decided to charge you with these. Are any of those felonies?
No. They wanted felonies, but she said publicly that they don't punish for speech. So the hate crime enhancement wasn't proper because it was only speech that we did. So they don't punish for speech.
If they would have given you
for speech,
if they would have given you a hate enhancement, it would have turned it into a felony.
Yes, because it goes up from a first degree misdemeanor to a felony. Hate crime enhancements take it up the next level.
So I have this love and affinity for DeSantis, right? I love 95% of what he does.
Same here.
But when it comes to your First Amendment rights, to do these things, to speak out against, pedophilia, to speak out against, like, we have these hate crime laws against, like, the Jewish community, and we have these hate crime laws against the Muslim community, apparently, right? Mm-hmm. Enforced law.
Well, the Jewish ones are on the books. At least the Muslim ones aren't yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in his case, they didn't care what was on the books. They just wanted to charge.
But hate crimes aren't for speech, right? There's no such thing as a hate crime for speech. It's usually like if you do graffiti, right? That's the crime, vandalism. But if it's against a certain group, then you can do a hate crime. But, just speaking, which Susie Lopez admitted, by the way, it was just speech. You cannot punish people for speech that you deem hateful. Because, again, if it's hate speech, who decides what speech is hateful and what's not? I mean, do they get to decide? Do we get to decide? Who decides?
How many times have you, I guess, preached in Florida?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Have you been assaulted? Has anybody put hands on you in Florida?
Not in Florida, and it's funny because they usually stay away from me in Florida because once they learn that we're going to defend ourselves, a lot of them kind of kept their distance. And in Florida, because the police tried one time, threatened to arrest me for disorderly conduct for offending them, but it was on a live stream, and it didn't work out well for him. Something like this, and I vaguely remember this, and this is just recently. I think in Florida, although I think it was a
park ranger. I don't know. Caitlin Bennett.
Oh yeah, it was a federal park.
It was a federal park.
Yeah,
it wasn't the Fed, so we can't use that as an example. But they charge you with this. In the time that we talked, you're like, hey, they like it looks like they're fucking maneuvering to do this shit, and I wouldn't put it past them. That's what you said.
And by the way, the case that her lawyer cited is Bible Believers, which was Reuben Israel, which is the guy that I used to preach with before he died all the time. His case was used because he was the one in Dearborn that the Muslims stoned, and then the police basically said, it's your fault. He sued and won, and that case is precedent. It's one of the cases that they used for Donald Trump's second impeachment, Bible Believers versus Wayne County. And Kay Bennett's lawyer used that in their public statement, that case to say this is free speech. Heckler's veto, all of that.
Yeah, so you have a good track record in fighting
Yes.
what you do in the court system, although
Yes.
you have to usually escalate it.
Yeah.
So give me what's the status on the case right now, and what are you looking at?
So right now it's a first degree and I can't remember if it's second or third degree misdemeanor for disorderly conduct. Now, what's amazing is we're arguing this because now remember, the state of Florida, Susie Lopez, conservative Christian, Ron DeSantis appointee, is arguing that Muslims praying on a public sidewalk or a public parking garage is considered
can't get protested or preached
correct
on.
That they're a religious assembly that you cannot speak against publicly, or else you can be charged. This is a backdoor blasphemy law, right? Now, again, they're charged us with disrupting a religious assembly. So the argument one is it considered a religious assembly? And two, Florida law says in order to disrupt an assembly, you have to materially do something to stop them. The Muslim in his press release admitted in detail that they finished their prayer. So one, how is it a legal assembly when the policy of the campus says, number one is you're not supposed to use the parking garage for any events, and two, you need permission, express permission from the campus to do any events in or outdoors, which they did not have.
So, Kim, is that the video that's queued up down there?
It is.
Well, that's the one where they claim that we were stomping around their heads with our steel-toed boots while they were in the prone position, which you'll see because, of course, they're Muslims, so their mouth is moving, so they're lying.
I think this is the wrong scene, Kim. So, is this video that's down here?
We walked close to our heads while we entered the bowing.
Was that it? Is this it?
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
Okay, so how long is this? 51 seconds. So
It's like very short.
Let me full screen this, and let's go ahead and play this a second.
They walked close to our heads while we entered the bowing position, so close that we genuinely had a fear that they were going to stomp on our heads.
You liar!
And you can look up any live stream on YouTube.
Well, let's see.
Every tongue shall confess, every knee shall bow that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord.
Allahu Akbar.
Look at you bowing down, just like Muhammad did when he was ridden all night by the jinn. Your prophet is a power-bottom pedophile who dabbles in light necrophilia and cross-dressing. Muhammad is the biggest pervert that ever walked the earth.
So, I didn't see any stomping around there.
No. Did you even see anybody near them as they were bowing down?
No. No. Which is crazy that he, and you see this all the time with the left, is like they have this SJW thing where they instantly like amplify and lie about what actually occurred. You know,
Right.
look, some people might find what you do distasteful, right? And I don't think you disagree with that. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't like it. Just let them pray." But it's not. That's not the issue at hand here.
That's right.
It's that for doing what you did here, you are criminally charged with a crime that has, in Florida, a misdemeanor. It's not like some places. You could do up to 6 months in jail. In Florida,
Well, this is up to a year in jail.
Yeah, up to 364 days
Correct.
in jail.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This shouldn't happen anywhere in the country. Doesn't matter if you find it distasteful. I don't think any of the audience finds it distasteful. I think
No, I don't think your audience is going to have a problem with
Yeah,
it.
I think they're rooting for it. But like, let's just step in the shoes of somebody that finds it distasteful. Even if you find it distasteful, you have to defend it. You have to defend this because if you keep moving this needle, and it's not okay to do things like later on, right? You're going to be a target, right? Because it doesn't go from this. Then you can't speak out against the homo pedophile prophet. You won't be able to do that, right? Because then you
he was a homo too because he did suck on the penis of his nephew.
Yeah. So actually, the way that I got involved in the Proud Boys, funny story, is do you know who Sabo is? The street artist?
I do.
Okay. So he had a shirt.
I don't know him personally, but I know who he is.
So Sabo's a good friend of mine, and he had this shirt. And in the back, it's like the ISIS flag, and it says "I fuck goats." But in the front, it says Muhammad is a homo, right? And I wore that to an event when I first started with the Proud Boys. There was like 4 of us down here in South Florida, and when the media took a picture of me wearing that shirt, it kind of like blew up, right? And that's how I kind of met other national groups within the Proud Boys, and they were calling for my arrest for wearing that shirt. I'm so happy that the culture has shifted now where it's kind of like, all right, that's a cool shirt. I'm going to buy it too.
Right.
I mean, if it didn't have the F word on there, I'd wear it, but
yeah. So, I cuss like a sailor. I'm trying not to.
I was a sailor, so I get it.
Okay.
So get you the PG version.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't care. Listen, I'm a big boy. I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up in northern New Jersey, and I was in the Navy. Come on.
well, wait. The original shirt doesn't have. That was like a one-off that he made me. But it has "I fuck goats" in the back, but the original just has Muhammad as a homo in the front,
which he is.
Yeah. So you could go to. I think it's like Sabo. I forgot.
Well, my wife makes our T-shirts now. So like this one here, it says "homosexual worthy of death," and it has a guy hanging from a rope because that's what the Bible says. So
okay. So again, like even if you want to step in the shoes of an SJW moderate, right? You have to defend this speech. But what's crazy is, and I know for a fact that I haven't looked into this prosecutor, this DA in Florida, but I know that DeSantis appointed him. Her.
Yeah.
DeSantis appointed her, so it's safe to say that she's playing as a conservative Christian with no constitutional fucking values whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Right? And what they did to you is wrong. So how can people? Let's start.
Well, wait before you go any further, I want to say this on X. Ron DeSantis, and you can ask Grok, was tagged over 200,000 times about this story, asking him to do something about this, that this should never stand. I also emailed. I spent a whole night emailing every single Republican in the state, the senators and the representatives in Florida. Only one of them got back to me when I told them what was going on. Only one. I emailed every single Republican, every single conservative in the state house. And only one got back to me. Only one. And their response was generic, we'll look into it. That was it.
So what's, I guess I asked this, but what's the status of the case currently?
Right now, it's we have our arraignment, at least mine, because they separated the cases. My arraignment is on February 23rd, but my lawyer is going to waive the appearance because it's a misdemeanor, so we can do that.
How many of you are arrested for this?
3.
3. Okay. Were all 3 of you preaching? Or
yes.
Was just one holding the camera?
No, all 3 of us.
3 were preaching.
Yep.
Okay. And when's that next arraignment?
Mine arraignment is February 23rd, but my lawyer is going to waive the appearance.
Okay. So it's important for you to move this case forward into the appellate because, I don't know.
Oh, no, we win it. Our goal is to win this because if we don't win this, then we go to appeal. But if we win it, we already plan on filing a civil rights lawsuit because they moved this from defamation to civil rights now because Susie Lopez admitted that this is speech. She said our conduct was simply speech. That's it.
I'm just going to say this to say this. I'm going to ask this question. Have you reached out to the Civil Rights Division of the DOJ?
I sent a message on X, and I think I emailed, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't say definitively or not whether I sent an email or not. I don't even know if they can do anything at this point because we've been charged.
Well, I would tell you to send an email, at least a strongly worded email. No, I'm not.
Who, me? I would never do that.
Yeah, no. I was just making fun of Pam Bondi for a second.
Yeah, I know.
I take every opportunity to do that. But you should send an email to the Civil Rights Division, and the head's Harmeet Dillon. Maybe she does something about it. I'm hoping. I don't have.
Who knows? Well, you got to remember, brother, as street preachers, a lot of people, especially conservatives, they don't publicly support us because they don't like our rhetoric in that. Again, I will go out there and I will call a homo a freaking pervert and a pedophile to their face. I don't care. And there's this idea somehow that we just got to be loving and pacifist and never hurt people's feelings. Listen, I am not there to step on people's toes. I am literally there to crush their feet. And I am more concerned with offending God than I'm offending with anybody else on this planet. Okay, so but a lot of conservatives, a lot of Christians, they don't like guys like us. That's why these charges come. Do you think they would ever do this? Well, actually, one of those loving Christians would never do what we did, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's important, and I love that you said that. It's because like they find our groups distasteful.
Yeah.
Like civil rights hasn't stepped in because they're like, oh, we don't want the optics of defending the Proud Boys.
And that's the problem. They're concerned about hurting them. And that's what I understand. Who cares? These people think it's okay to turn your kids into sex toys. And we're worried about what they think about us. You know, you got Muslims trying to, Muhammad is the best man alive. Has anybody ever read about Muhammad? He married a 6-year-old, he thied her until she was 9, like a gentleman. He waited until she was 9 to consummate it. He sucked on the penis of his nephew. He let little boys suck his tongue. He had sex with his dead Aunt Fatima. I mean, this is the biggest pervert that ever walked the earth. And these people are trying to implement their way of life on us.
Before I get into the founding fathers, I want to get into Facebook really quick. When you do this on Facebook, do you speak exactly how you're speaking right now?
Yes.
Damn,
why do you think I've lost so many Facebook accounts?
Facebook has come a long way.
Oh yeah, it actually has. It's we're even.
Oh no,
seeing
I'm censored right now. They put a do not recommend label on me again.
It's gotten better. That doesn't mean it's good, but it's gotten better.
So now let's get
Instagram
back
is the best one. I could say and do whatever I want on Instagram.
Defending distasteful people, right? And I don't think anything that you're preaching is extreme. I don't think anything that I talk about is extreme. Like
I don't think so either.
I don't say extreme is when you're like, to me, and I think by definition is when you're calling for violence against others.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
I think that's what extremism is, right? And I think actually the law states that too.
It does. That's why disorderly conduct doesn't make sense, because it's got to be either physical violence or causing somebody to be violent. And it can't just be on your words either, by the way. It's got to be like, and that's why the cops use it as a go-to all the time against street preachers, and they always get thrown out, the disorderly conduct charge. It's kind of a go-to generic thing.
One of my favorite founding fathers, I love the story of John and Abigail Adams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the founding of the country. And
are you going to give the moral quote that he did?
Well, no, I wasn't gonna quote him. I'm gonna go by what his actions were.
Oh, okay.
So there's no dispute, besides him being a founding father of the country, he was one of the most prominent ones. The Adams family was one of the most prominent ones. Like one of the most radical founding fathers is Sam Adams, but John Adams was a little bit more reserved than Samuel Adams, and Samuel Adams, like George Washington and his kind of Cincinnatus moment, John Adams did something and set an example moving forward for the rule of law, right? He did something so unpopular, right, at the time, during the Boston Massacre, when there was this extreme hate extreme hate for these redcoats, right? He did something that was totally unexpected. He represented them in the court of law. People were calling for the hanging of John Adams because he did that. He beat the charges.
Of course.
He beat the charges. So within the founding of our nation, our Christian nation, the rule of law, there was this giant example of it by one of the greatest founding fathers that we had. He ended up turning into a piece of shit later.
Which is funny because he said that our government and our country was founded for immoral and religious people only, and that it's wholly inadequate for anybody else.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Why I said that I don't like John Adams is because when he took his position as the second president of the United States,
Right.
he kind of fell into the tyranny of, you gotta knock down these seditionists. The sedition acts were passed during John Adams' tenure as the head of the executive. So there's this deep dilemma that we're having with the Department of Justice today, is that they don't want to touch these, and these are the ones that they should touch, the unpopular ones, the ones that would bring you shit, because it's important to maintain that status quo of being a country that was founded on law and order. Freedom of speech isn't for just speech that you just remotely believe in. It's for the most vile and hateful speech ever. And you should be able to defend that no matter what. I don't like some of the things that my right-wing counterparts say. I don't like some of the things that the left wing says.
Mm-hmm.
I won't always say that I'll defend it, right? Because I have this.
No, but you'll defend.
I have
the
a
right
line.
to say it.
I'll have the right to say it.
Right.
So it's important that your case move forward. It's important that you beat this case. And
Oh, yeah.
I know you don't like cussing, but I
No,
hope
it's
you.
not that- I don't do it.
I don't do it. Yeah. Well, I hope you knock them in the dick. Okay.
I do too, because again, this is one of these cases, and again, to be honest, street preachers are really what's towing the line on free speech in this country. We're the ones pushing the limits on free speech. We're the ones that are still defending and fighting for it, because who else is doing it? Who else is out there publicly on public street corners, sidewalks, public parks? Who else is doing this? And the problem is there's not many of us left. And I gotta say for your group, Enrique, that Proud Boys, there's twice that they saved my butt. Once in Michigan, right? Because I was out, there was negative 20 degrees, and they didn't say anything. They were just there to make sure that I was okay. And then in Minnesota, I mean, they literally, they knew Antifa was going to come for me. So when Antifa came at me, they literally stood in front of me and said, "You just worry about preaching, we'll take care of the rest." And they rerouted them away from me. So if it weren't for your group, who knows what would have happened to me in Minnesota, which is 20 minutes from George Floyd Square.
I kind of I kind of want to address this with some people, because I keep getting tagged in this like Minnesota stuff and the stuff that's going on in Minnesota. If you look at the history, and it's usually the newer people that come in, Proud Boys are not counter protesters,
right?
When the Summer of Love came, you didn't see the Proud Boys in the streets facing off against BLM. We don't go to their parties, right?
No.
Where you did see them during the Summer of Love is if other conservatives, and actually one of those time was a group of street preachers over in Los Angeles, that we went and we kind of like stood with them. They kind of protected themselves. So
that would be Reuben Israel.
Yeah. So we don't get counter protest stuff.
No, your guys are there to make sure that nothing happened to me.
Yes. And that's always been our role. So I'm happy my guys helped you out, and I'm happy that my guys will continue to help you out in these endeavors, including myself. So not just physically, right now you have, how can people help you fight this? Because a lot of people don't understand, I hate lawyers. I fucking hate them all.
My lawyer loves you.
Yeah. Well, listen, I love your lawyer personally. I just hate lawyers in general.
Right. No, he loves you. He told me he can't wait to meet with you, sit down, whatever. And I told him, I said, when I come to Florida again, I will try to facilitate that. But he's like, he loves you, loves, all the Proud Boy stuff. He curses too. He's a Greek Orthodox, but he's awesome. He's an awesome guy. And he was talking about he hates the liberals, and he's like makes fun of them, but he loves you.
Yeah. Well, I thank him for that. And Rich, when you come down, just give me a holler. And it's just to go to Tampa. It's like 3 hours away from me, so I'll drive up.
Well, my mother-in-law, she is buying a house in Fort Myers, I think.
Okay. Oh, that's actually closer. That's actually about like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah. When she does that, we're going to go down and visit her, obviously.
Okay.
Or, we can always fly you up or give you you probably don't need it from me, but we can always help that too.
I appreciate that. But let's help you now. So lawyers are expensive. And the reason why I say I don't like lawyers is because they always got to charge you for everything. But, it is their profession. And they do a lot of good work. So how could we help you? I'm going to put it up on the screen while you say it.
We have a Give, Send, Go, which my wife just did. I also have my own donation platform because we are a ministry, which is warriorsforchrist.us/give. And we have PayPal, CashApp, all that on our page. Or like I said, we have the Give, Send, Go, which people tend to like that one better for whatever reason. But you'll see on our website there, we have the Zelle, PayPal, CashApp, Venmo. And yes, we do need to pay the lawyer, and we do need help with that because it's not cheap, but this is a case that is important to fight. And when this is over, we are going for a federal case because we want to set a precedent that this could never happen again to anybody, that Muslims don't get to dictate policy, that Muslims don't get a safe space in public spaces that shield them from criticism or heckling or preaching for that matter. Because if we lose this, now, Enrique, you live in Florida, this will directly affect you and your ability to speak in public.
Oh, of course. I'm going to keep doing it. I don't think I've ever feared.
No, well, I don't fear it either. But the point is that, as a Florida resident, this has the potential to hurt you when you're out there. You could be, if we lose this, that's a precedent in Florida that Muslim groups, because you know as well as I do, this is never going to go the other way. Christians aren't going to be defended on this, right? When Christians at the abortion clinics and the death squirts are in their faces, no one's going to arrest them for interrupting our religious assembly.
Yeah.
But this has the potential for a guy like you who lives there, if you go out there, to be charged with a crime for, if you ate bacon in front of Muslims, you could be charged with disorderly conduct for having a breakfast meat in front of Muslims.
I might go do it on purpose.
I would. Wait till you see what I do next month.
Yeah.
I'm not in Florida. I'll tell you guys privately because I want it to be a surprise.
Okay. I might join you.
That's in Oklahoma, so you're welcome to come up if you want. You want to see my animals anyway.
Perfect. Yes, I do. Okay. Actually, can we talk about that?
Sure.
Because I thought you were joking. I thought you were sending me videos of some random shit. I'm like, why is he sending me these?
No.
You have
a kangaroo.
People have farms, right? And they have like weird, like not weird, but like odd farm animals. Weird. But you have a very odd farm animal. Can you explain what it is that you sent me the other day?
I have a kangaroo and I have emus, which you call a dinosaur. We have emus. My wife's getting an ostrich. I have a pig right now that we're housebreaking running around here.
Housebreaking pig.
Yeah, it's one of the pigs that was down that Jake Lang hang with him in Plano. Because what's he going to do with him?
Is that your pig?
Yes. Well, it was his. He bought it, but we took it home.
Oh, okay.
Didn't have anything to do with them, and they were just kind of like, "Well, we'll take the pig."
Well, yeah, I have a farm. Why not? And we have sugar gliders. What else do we have? Goats.
Wait, I love sugar gliders.
Yeah, until they fucking gnaw off your finger. I had
no. Ours are good, man. They'll come on you and run all over you and stuff like that. They'll let you pet them. But
on you?
What?
The what on you?
Oh yeah, they'll come on your shoulders. They'll run down your thing, whatever, tied in your shirt. Oh yeah.
You're such an asshole.
Sorry.
The kangaroo is the coolest animal we have.
Yeah, you sent me a fucking, so just for the audience sake, like I meet Rich, we text and we got on the phone and he suddenly starts sending me videos. And one of the first videos he sent me.
Well, you wanted to know who I was and what I do, so.
Yeah, so you sent me a video of a fucking kangaroo and I'm like, all right. I mean, did he go to a petting zoo? What's going on? Like,
well, yes, we have
personal.
Yeah, we have a pet. And Kim knows all about it. She was there when I got the not personally, but when we got the kangaroo, she was aware of it when we got it.
Where does one acquire a kangaroo?
So we got the kangaroo because there was a zoo in Oklahoma that got a bunch of wallabies in, but they did not know the wallabies were pregnant. So they had to have room for them. And they were looking for somebody to take the kangaroo. And my wife was like, oh, I'll take it. And they found out we had land and stuff like that. So my wife went and picked up the kangaroo.
Am I an idiot? And I know this thing, but I don't know what the fuck a wallaby is. And
It's a smaller kangaroo, basically.
Oh yeah, it is a smaller kangaroo.
And remember, I'm from northern New Jersey. I did not grow up with this stuff.
No, absolutely not. You're a you went from Yankee to complete
yeah. My
Southerner.
daughter.
Well, no, that's not Southern Oklahoma.
It's considered Southern.
Yeah, well, no,
but I'm in Texas.
Well, kangaroos aren't considered.
I'm really Southern.
Yeah, I'm in Amarillo, Texas. But my daughter, right, my 16-year-old is in 4-H. She started her own business here. 16 years old, this kid.
Oh, wow.
Goes around trimming goat hooves, bans them, gives them their vaccines, goes to shows. My son, my 5-year-old, just won a big belt buckle for #1 in showmanship for a goat.
Wow.
And I say that because I'm from New Jersey. I grew up 30 miles from New York City.
Rich, I got to go visit. I need pictures with a fucking kangaroo, dude. Oh, yeah.
Go on my wife's TikTok. She posts videos all the time about stuff.
I'm not allowed on TikTok. I'm not allowed on none of that.
Hey, I had almost 10,000 followers. They took it down when I shared the video of Renee Good showing how she tried to run him over. They took my entire account down.
Somebody said Enrique couldn't handle a litter box in the house. No. I don't want to become a poop archaeologist.
No, I don't like that either. That my cats are outside. Their job is to catch mice and all that stuff, and that's what they do.
So Rich, what's that website again where they can help you? warriorsforchrist.us/give or GiveSend. I don't know what the GiveSend Go link is. I sent it to Kim. My wife made it. Okay.
I have them both right here if you want me
so
to.
what we'll do is when we replay this, Kim, if you could put it in the comment section of my account and the Warboy Studio account, like the Give Send Go, and then when we run it tonight, I'll run it with the link.
Yeah, because you know what's funny? I did an interview with Cam Higbee, and Cam really thought that his audience would help support us in this, and they didn't.
Yeah. Well, to tell you, Twitter is not the best audience.
No, this is YouTube. This was his YouTube.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on. Somebody posted it. Oh, you did. You did.
Somebody's on my. Who's on my channel posting it? Maybe I don't know. I have a lot of mods on there.
So no, when Kim posts it here, it goes to every channel.
Oh, okay.
So that was Kim.
That was me.
Oh, okay. I saw the Words for Christ official on my channel there. I'm like, who posted that?
Well, that's kind of odd. I think that's kind of a flaw in the system, right?
No, it's fine.
No, I know for you it's fine, but it's kind of a flaw in the system because you posted your guest link. That's why we're on.
Oh no, my wife posted it. My wife posted it.
Okay, all right. So
you want to see the pig?
Is it with you?
I do want to see the pig.
Oh, please bring. Please bring the pig on.
Please bring the pig.
He muted himself. He's like screaming. He's
I
like,
got to yell for my daughter.
What's your wife? Oh, okay.
Oh, here she comes.
Arnie! Bring the pig!
It's my daughter Brielle because she's the one who wanted the pig. Here she
the
comes.
audience wants to see it.
You want to see the pig?
They want to see the pig.
Want to see the pig?
Oh wow! And he's snorting.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me blow this up a second. Wow.
Hello, piggy.
Wow, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Carlin B. back into the studio.
That was.
I never thought we'd see her again.
I never thought we'd see her again. She had banned me. It's great to see her.
Jake named her Mohammed.
There's.
I can't right now with this thing. This is literally wild.
This is wild.
She doesn't like being picked up. No pigs do.
On the next time that I have you on the show, I definitely want to get the kangaroo in.
He's a little more difficult to bring into the house. He used to come in the house with diapers on when he was small. No, I knocked him out once. He never hits me again. I'm not even kidding. Like my
Maybe
wife.
we should host the kangaroo fight when we have the Paul v. Patty fight.
If you see my wife's arms, because the kangaroos, what they do is they grab with their hands, and that's how they cool down, right? They lick their arms. So they got claws on their paws in the front, and they grab on you like this, and they hold you and they lick you. So my wife's arms were all cut up like a heroin addict.
Oh wow!
From the kangaroos, clawing her arms.
Wow. That's like I've heard this. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's true. Like koalas are like super cute and shit, but they will fuck you up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're mean.
The kangaroo's not as big. He's not as strong as you think he is. You can hold him back like this as he kicks, and if he gets too aggressive, just punch him and he's down.
I'm so offended right now. I'm so offended.
My wife just said we can get the kangaroo inside, no problem.
So
he's a good boy, she's saying.
So Ash goes ahead and says, "This is how women sound when they see how disappointing Enrique Wiener is."
No,
and then
that's how liberals sound when you
right
say
side rebel is sitting here that's saying that she can vouch for this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Betrayed.
Wow.
Betrayed.
Wow. And by the way, how is somebody's genitalia disappointing? You know what? I don't even want to know.
I don't want to know.
That's more of a woman question.
I don't want to know.
Because for guys, it's like, all right, there's nothing disappointing. It like sucks. It's like, all right.
I've been married for a long time, so
yeah.
seven kids, and
Yeah, you're a fucking factory.
Not anymore. Not anymore. We're done now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah. I know. Well, Kim is, when she met me, I think you didn't even have one at the time, did you?
I got pregnant shortly after we started talking, maybe like within the year.
And she loved that we had all these kids and the animals, and so we inspired Kim.
You did. You very much did. We're.
Listen, look, the inspiration of wanting to have a kid, but I think the trying was already there.
Well, yeah.
So there's it's like moral support. Like, yeah, we're gonna do this. It's like, well, we're gonna do it anyway.
Like I said, 2 children is a replacement. 3 is the multiplication. So everybody has to have at least 3 children to be fruitful and multiply.
Wise words of Genghis Khan before he probably got smoked during having sex.
In the Bible, as a married couple, the Bible says that a wife's body belongs to her husband and a husband's body belongs to his wife, and you cannot withhold sex from each other or else it's a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's true.
That's true.
Nobody wants to talk about that part of the Bible.
Yeah, I remember that part of the Bible completely.
Yeah, that's the one. Men always remember that part.
That's going to be a post.
I post that, and I drive the feminists crazy. Like you guys saw my video last night. Women belong in the kitchen. I don't really mean that, but you get what I'm saying.
Oh God.
Well, that's why I gave my husband all my shoes.
Well, I was out at the RNC preaching to the leftists, and the Associated Press was there, and they're like, "Hey, I quoted you." I'm like, "Oh, what'd you quote me on?" And he says, "I quoted when you told that woman to go home and make her husband a sandwich." And I said, "That's what you quoted me on? Out of all the things I said, that's what you quoted me on?" He goes, "Because that's the only thing they'll let me print." And by the way, Enrique, do you know we went viral on that one because we went to Subway after that, and they kicked us out and refused to serve us because of our shirts.
How fitting that fucking Subway
no sandwich for you.
Pedophile sandwiches decided to kick you out for that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I said no foot long for us.
Yeah. He's about to get out of jail, I think, or prison or whatever.
He is in 2 years, and we'll be there for that too. We're going to go preach to him when he gets out. We're going to stand when he gets out.
Perfect. I support that wholeheartedly. Do me as a last favor before I give you parting words.
Sure.
Do me a favor. Send me a picture of Dr. Carlin B. So I could post it. She hasn't been on the show for a long time.
Oh, you're talking to Kim. I thought you were talking to me. I'm like,
I'm talking to you, Rich.
Carlin B. Who's that?
Yeah. Just the pig. That's
her name is Petunia.
Petunia. We call her that, but it's Dr. Carlin.
It's Dr. Carlin.
That was my daughter Brielle. My daughter Brielle raises meat rabbits and stuff, and she named the pig Petunia.
So any parting words, Rich?
I just want to say to your audience, number one is you guys are conservatives, and I know a lot of you are Christians, but Christians are not called to take a back seat. We're not called to be pacifist. We are called to preach the truth, and not for nothing, but America needs to be a Christian country. A lot of people like to make the claim that we want to have a theocracy. Nobody wants a theocracy. However, what we need to understand is that in this country, we are going to live by somebody's rules. So do you want to live by a set of rules that we objectively can look at the Bible and say, here, this is what we're going to live by? Or do you want to live by moral relativism and secular humanists? They have no objective standard. We are going to live by somebody's rules. And I believe that we should live by the rules of the Bible, society be better. I do think that liberals should be shouted down every chance we get, and we need to stop compromising for them. The case in Florida is a good point of how our side always seems to be the weaker side. We talk a big game on social media, but all these soy boys are making us look like idiots because they're the ones that are out there standing in 20-degree weather. They're the ones who are willing to donate and fight for their causes. They will lie down in front of cars to promote evil. But as Christians, as conservatives, we should be able to fight for what we want. Jesus Christ told us that we should be willing to lay down our lives for the cause of righteousness. And too many Christians don't do that. We think that we're prayer warriors as we sit in our churches on Sunday morning singing Kumbaya and think that's enough. We're losing this culture war. And it's not because we don't have the power to win. It's because we aren't doing anything. And I leave with this last thing. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was a pastor during Nazi Germany, said this: the only thing that evil needs to thrive is for good men to do nothing. And we see that experiment happening right now in this country.
Amen to that. Kim.
Well, I'm just glad that we get to share this platform with my buddy Rich here. And I appreciate all of you supporting in any way you can. Make sure that you're following him. Make sure that you donate if possible. Make sure you let people know. Because as we were saying before, and as President Trump has said many times, it'll start with us, but it goes down. If you allow these things to happen, such as allowing a criminal backdoor for, criminalizing speech, it's going to eventually turn on you. And we don't want to live in the UK. We want to live in America. We don't want to live in Canada. We want to live in America. We don't believe in tyranny here.
We're not supposed to anyway.
We're not supposed to. That's very true.
So in my closing words, and I'm going to address maybe the few people, maybe the one or two viewers that are like, I don't care, I don't care what happens to Rich. It's important that you do care.
You know what, Enrique? They don't have to care about me. This will affect them.
Yeah. That's exactly where I was going with it. They have to care because defending, and again, I think 99% of my audience is rooting for you to beat them in court. I appreciate having you here today. But I think it's important that we defend this speech and we defend the ability to peacefully assemble. And this is peaceful assembly. You're not putting your hands on anybody. You're not, you're not sitting there. You're not pushing them around. And Florida, for as great state as it is, and I think it's one of the greatest states in the union, I think it's important that we knock down some of these laws that stop you from protesting these events or speaking out against certain religions or people. You should be able to say a whole bunch of the most distasteful words, or else what happens, and I'm dealing with this now. I'm not going to talk about it because you guys have read about it on Twitter, and this is Rich's show.
Well, it's not my show; it's yours. I'm just a guest.
No,
I appreciate being on here.
But this show's about you, so you'll be put in a position where they will they will arrest you, and they will put you in chains for something that our founding fathers didn't believe in. The First Amendment, I think there was a mistake there, and it wasn't clear. The Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. I think every amendment that we have should have that last sentence that says shall not be infringed. So again, Rich, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, and look forward to working with you out in the future.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to going ahead and playing with kangaroos.
Anytime, man. I got plenty of space. Come on up to Texas.
Yeah, I will. I will. So that concludes this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead. We're going to replay this show later on, so please share it. And please go to the Warboy Studios and hit the post notification button so you can get those lives as soon as we go live. Thank you guys, and I am going for outro if I could find it, and here it is.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
An FBI agent arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here